Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be at the moment. We're here with another exciting AMA session. Today we welcome Mr. Eric Schaffner. He's the CEO of ZELOOP Project. Hello, Eric. Could you please introduce yourself and just provide a quick summary of the ZELOOP Project to our audience?
Hello, I'm very happy to be with all of us, all of you. So yes, I'm the co-founder of ZELOOP Project. Come from the packaging industry. Worked many years in a field where we provide plastic containers to consumers, and also invested in a blockchain startup where we developed a reward engine that is actually combining. It was for social environment impact, and then seeing the growing concern about pollution and littering, plastic pollution, but that I would prefer to name human pollution. We thought that we should do something about the environment impact, and it's how ZELOOP was born to start to work on that issue, but leveraging the beauty of the blockchain technology for that.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, and it's interesting you say that because, a lot of times when people think blockchain, they don't necessarily think, green or environmentally friendly.
Right.
A lot of times it's actually quite the opposite.
Absolutely. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people just scratch the surface and see what media have to say. So there were some speculation made by big names that played a bit with the blockchain or with the Bitcoin and saying, oh, suddenly, it's not eco-friendly and so on. But in our case, for instance, we use proof of stake. We are on Binance Smart Chain. So first, the electrical consumption of that blockchain is very small, and we also have an optimization of how we utilize the blockchain. So it's in comparison to what we are spending in terms of energy, where we are talking at the moment using internet and so on. So it's also, we have to differentiate things, and after it's a matter of balance. As a human, we have an impact that, as a matter of fact,
Yes.
We have always an impact. So it's just a matter of selecting the solution that limit our impact or reduce our impact. And then it's, if in one end, yes, we do have a bit of energy consumption because we utilize the technology, but with that technology, we are able to do things that reduce much more the impact that we have, then the benefit is still positive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. So let's move on directly to your project with a few questions. You touched on this briefly, but could you just expand a little bit more about what inspired you to create ZELOOP and address the issue of waste and pollution?
Yes. So, I mentioned it is. We see more media are talking about often about plastic pollution there and so on. I was in contact with most of the major brands, Nestle, Coke, and so on, that produce drink container. And what people don't know is that a plastic bottle, for instance, has the lowest impact to bring a liquid to a consumer compared to glass that is heavy, compared to aluminium that is light, but takes a lot of energy to produce and so on. So when you look at the full life cycle, plastic is not the devil.
Right.
But it's also true that nowadays you see everywhere plastic on the ocean, in nature, and so on, because plastic is so cheap that it's very easy to discard. And that is where we started things. Say, hey, would you litter with gold? Of course not. I know that answer. I've been asking that question for 2 years. I'm still looking for someone to say, yes, I do litter with gold, and then I will do his trash, but never happened.
Yeah, I've never heard that either.
Exactly. So if tomorrow we can create value of the waste so that you perceive that as being gold, you will not throw it away. And that applies to plastic, applies to anything that we just litter. And with blockchain is how you can create a value out of nowhere, because you can disconnect the value creation from the residual value of the material that is collected and so on. Then we start to engineer that. We had already that experience with the former startup on the social impact, and they say, oh, okay, let's create value for the waste so that people will not litter. And it's how ZELOOP was born. Just changing the behavior, and we're really focusing on the human behavior. When we talk about recycling or reducing our impact, the cycle will involve the consumer. But the only things that consumer will have to do at that stage is, if I consume something, I've got two chances. Either I litter, I dump it in nature, or I bring that to a bin so it has a chance to be recycled, repurposed, and so on. And so we focus on that, and we reward people for that gesture of not affecting the nature.
Okay, no, that makes perfect sense. And so, I mean, that was actually going to be going on to my next question. You know, how does ZELOOP incentivize the users to engage in these pro-environmental behaviors? Can you dive into a little bit more specifics on, you know, how they're incentivized to, you know, not litter?
So first, the overall project is a platform. So it's built on our reward engine, blockchain powered. That reward engine has the capability to create a wallet for any user that are not, so you don't have to be crypto savvy about blockchain and so on. You just
that's important.
You download the app and automatically you have a wallet created for you. Then the reward engine will move the token from the master wallet to the user wallet. And then when the user wants to redeem for the token for goods and services and so on, again, we move the token. So that reward engine is the core, the base of our platform, on which we can plug any solution that are eco-friendly, because that's the boundary of the ecosystem we have defined. We could use that reward engine for non-eco-friendly behavior, but we set the eco-rewards for the eco-friendly behaviors. So we can plug mobile application, web application, and so on. But as soon as you need to incentivize an individual to do an eco-friendly gesture, you can plug that to the reward engine and qualify to use the eco rewards. As a demonstration and a proof of work, and so we have launched ZELOOP mobile application that rewards users when they bring used plastic bottle to point of collection that are crowdsourced by the community. So you and me, you travel, you see a new bin that is not part of the network, you take a picture, upload in the system, we validate that is a bin that is used for collecting plastic, and then it becomes part of the network, and everybody that will bring the plastic to that bin, take the picture with the app, gets rewarded with eco rewards tokens. Mm-hmm. And that is for preventing littering, because we have created value for the bottle. And actually, something to mention, we hold the world record value for plastic bottles. We give 100 eco rewards per bottle, and some partners, in terms of purchasing value, will value the bottle at 50 cents per bottle. So if you have 100 eco rewards, they give you $0.0003 per eco rewards. But that is a redeem value. We have a marketplace where we have different vendors that give discount from 10 to 50% discount, and then you give your eco rewards and you get your discount vouchers, and so it becomes real value, real money as a saving. The other way to be rewarded is just to collect as many eco rewards. I would advise to keep stacking on it, because we are growing the community and so on. But for those who, I don't know, live in a place where maybe our marketplace doesn't deliver enough goods and services and they want to cash out earlier, we have a redeem function, a withdraw function in the app, and then we take a fee to cover the blockchain transaction, and then you can have your eco rewards in your private wallet, and then exchange them against US dollar and digital USDT, and then monetize that directly. So we have a universal reward system because the eco rewards is tradable. So and can be earned everywhere in the world. It can be at home, where you live, where you work, and
or if you're traveling, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
We also reward people when they do they fight littering, so they go on a walk and they collect trash, any trash. That in that case we don't look at plastic, we don't make a difference. Any litter that is in the nature should not be there. So you walk for 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, register for that. At the end of that session, you take a picture of all the trash you have collected, and then we will reward you for the steps that you have done during the session, and we give 0.5 eco rewards per steps. So it's not a move to earn as such, it's similar, but it's move to earn provided that you have collected trash.
Right there. Yeah, that one's interesting because it reminds me of, when I was in school, we used to do things like that, on a pretty regular basis. So it could be something maybe a school could set up, and they could, earn some different type of rewards.
We do work with companies. It's also actually how we finance ourselves on the app. The app is free for users to download and to be part of the movement and be rewarded for the action. But we have space for brands to organize challenges. So we support cleanups. We're going to have one big cleanup event in India, in Goa, where there will be cleanups on beaches and people will be able to be rewarded. We've done that in UAE, we've done that in France, and with other companies, and starting in Argentina, and so.
Nice. Okay, and I did believe you did touch on this briefly as well, but could you just tell us a little bit more about some of the technology behind ZELOOP and how it utilizes the blockchain?
Yeah. So the main where blockchain is used is really at the level of the reward engine. So like I was mentioning, all the transactions, the wallet creation is done automatically by our reward engine. So basically the reward engine acts as a fourth level behind an app. An app, traditionally you have a front end, back end, a database. In our case, we have that fourth layer with the reward engine. When the user makes an action, we validate. When we have validated that action, it triggers the transaction. So we credit tokens, or if you redeem, we validate that redemption, and automatically we move the token. So that is where the blockchain is used. It gives obviously all the benefit of the blockchain. We have traceability of the transaction and so on. So we can't just fake it. If tomorrow you say how many bottles we have collected, if I tell you we collected 10 billion of bottles, knowing that we have a transaction of 100 eco rewards per bottle, you will easily calculate that is not possible. Especially, and it's also why our total, on the other hand, is also why our in terms of tokenomics, tokenomics, we have minted 80 billion eco rewards, and 48% of those eco rewards are distributed free in the ecosystem through all those actions. So the reward engine is the technology, the core technology for underlying the approach. After when someone deposit bottles, they will have to we cross-check their position versus the bin and so on to validate they have physically next to it. So you can't take a picture at home and just make a picture and try to cheat and so on. There are a couple of things where we check on that. We have also algorithm to look at the behavior. And then when we receive the declaration of the user, so they can declare from 1 to 10 or make bulk deposit, or when they do steps, they will take a picture of all the trash. Then we have machine learning, or we have a physical review, peer review in some situation. So that is the two main techno, I would say. On the rest is traditional, I would say, mobile application, or we also do white labels for clients. So on the model of ZELOOP, we can do, and we have already delivered white labels. So in that case, it's traditional, I would say, technology.
Okay. And as far as the tokenomics, can you just touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So the token is on Binance Smart Chain. So it's a BEP20 protocol. We have issued 80 billion tokens. 48% are distributed to the ecosystem. We have 23% for the liquidity that is going to be injected on exchanges and so on, and then we have kept 10% for the company as a reserve fund and so forth, and some for partners and so. The token can be then earned worldwide because the app is released worldwide. Is tradable, listed on 2 exchanges, so xt.com and TokPi. We will have discussion with LATOKEN for sure. We ambition to also eventually make the token as the reference token for eco-friendly gestures. And if everything goes as planned, we hope that one day we will be also listed on the top tier exchanges. There's a need of finance also on that aspect before we reach that stage. So it's why also we need the investors and grow, but it's part of our ambition. We have also a liquidity pool on PancakeSwap where people can obviously either trade directly or do some liquidity, act as liquidity provider, and then they can start at as little as $1. It's a per BNB eco rewards on the liquidity pool. But if you bring 1 BNB, you bring 1 BNB worth of eco rewards, and you become a part of the liquidity provider and earn some benefits from the exchange, and we have a stacking program attached to that. So when people stack on that, we can top it up with extra token, and that depends on the amount of tokens that provides as liquidity provider and how long they lock it.
Gotcha. Okay. So another question: how does ZELOOP ensure the responsible disposal of waste and prevent contamination in nature?
So that's a very good question. And that is back to what I was introducing. We focus on the gesture. So the quality of the disposal, the quality of the downstream. So when we don't collect the plastic by ourselves, we are tapping on existing system, and it's also why we can expand very fast. And we have already users in 160 countries in the world and deposit points mapped in 60 countries. Obviously, we haven't been in all those places, and we don't know also the performance of the recycling of the waste management at those places. But when we receive the picture of the bin for deposit, we check if it's been designed for collecting plastic and so on, for segregation. So we consider that the first intention of whoever has installed that bin is to take care properly of that waste. Our function, our aim is to make sure that at the user individual level, at least the gesture, there's no leakage towards nature, and all that fixed stock goes to those collection points, which actually becomes then a beneficial cycle, because if you have more plastic going to the bins, those waste management companies will make more money because they make money out of the plastic they collect.
Correct.
So they can invest in more bins because they collect more, and you see how the system becomes better and better. But our part is just at the moment for the user, and it's already a very important step. If you can have plenty of bins, and you may have seen that in your life walking around. You have bins, and it's people still litter between bins and so on.
Yeah, definitely here in the UK as well.
Do so. Of course, some people do that because it's good for the planet and so on. But we also know that it's not sufficient, and that is what we try to introduce: is giving plenty good reason to do so. I want to earn systematically. I want to take part of challenges because we do competition when you can earn sometimes iPhones and other goodies on prices depending on our partners and so on. So I want to do better than the other. I want to have the big prize. I want to have social recognition. We have a dashboard where you can climb the social ladder of the collector, and you can share that with your friends. And actually, you can even invite your friends. And if they join ZELOOP, you earn extra tokens and so on. So we give those reasons to act, but we can't control that all the time. There's a proper quality on the deposit. Basically, it would be out of our scope somehow.
Right. And that way you can scale it. You can scale it a lot quicker, as you said. Also important that you're, adding some gamify aspects to it. And,
Yes.
as you said, it's great that people do it for the good of the planet, but, to get more people involved, incentivizing things is definitely going to be a big part of it. So, no, that makes perfect sense. Okay. So the next question, that's kind of getting back on a similar thread. So as far as planning to scale and expand the ZELOOP platform to reach more users and create a larger impact globally, how do you plan on doing that?
So we have different directions. First, we are still a small startup, so there's many things to do when with such projects. Communication, development, technical development, go to market, business development, so on. So one of the strategy is to grow ZELOOP. We are getting more and more representative. That their function is to have the responsibility of one country, and then they will market. So, and there for them is the two target is user acquisition on their country and business acquisition. So partners that want to use our services for challenges, to organize challenges, to engage employees or end user, solutions, eco-friendly solutions that are not tokenized yet, but they need that capability. For instance, we are converting a company in Latin America that is in 9 countries. They have recycling centers where you can bring not only plastic, but metal, glass, and so depending on the counters, they have their point system. That point system will be connected to the API of our reward engine, and then we will tokenize that. So the local representative has this role of growing locally, and we have a role of obviously bringing the global infrastructure, developing further features and so on, and solutions to ever and listen to end users to improve the system. So for that, we have, for instance, a new representative in Argentina. We have 3 others in Latin America. We have one in India, one in Morocco, one in Zambia, one is coming for Nigeria, someone is representing us in France. So that is how we expand the network. We always open for discussion. What we look for representative is someone who has a network, who has also already first the motivation. That's the most important, the energy for that, and ideally, obviously, the competence and the network to it. We have also a German partner that is more a global partner that has different subsidiaries on the waste management. So that helps us to increase the awareness. Then after, when we have clients in ZELOOP app that want engagement, employees engagement or end user engagement, they do advertising for us. We work with Nestle, for instance. They did some animation to onboard people. We had thousands of people downloading the app, participating to the competition. But in terms of marketing, we haven't spent the marketing on our side. Our clients help us to be visible. Last element to grow the network and the movement is the platform. We do white labels. So we have already a white label in US where the client is focusing on collecting any plastic non-sorted. We are delivering one in Hong Kong where it will be some feature that we have in ZELOOP, but some new feature that is more related to eco-friendly consumption. So they will have their own marketing, their own branding, and so on. But they use also the eco rewards as a token, as a base token. So that will bring more and more people on the on the ecosystem of the eco rewards. And obviously, our people who listen to us know very well the importance of having a large ecosystem for a token. The velocity, the traction, and the circulation makes the value of the token. That's how we work on expanding the network.
Yeah, absolutely. That definitely sounds like a very solid and well thought out structure for scaling up the project. So one more thing, let me see. Can you give us any, any recent or any basically success story or notable achievement of ZELOOP in terms of reducing waste and making a positive environmental impact so far?
Yes. Sorry, can you repeat? Just bit that.
Yes, I'm sorry. So I was just wondering if you could share any success stories or any, notable achievements of ZELOOP when it comes to reducing waste or making a positive environmental impact.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. For instance, we did some competitions, and in some competition we managed to have a user of ZELOOP collecting up to 6,000 bottles in 1 month.
Wow.
And they are casual users, are not people collecting plastic for a living. It's just you and me having
Right.
another life and so on, but wanted to win the challenge and so on. And just to put in perspective, it was in the Middle East. In the country, the average consumption is 400 bottles per habitant per year. So when you collect 6,000 bottles in 1 month, you have done much more than what you are doing as a consumer. And that is a success. It's the demonstration that you can bring people to do the extra mile. And we know we're not going to have, unfortunately, I wish I will, but we're not going to have 8 billion people using ZELOOP app, for instance. So it's why we need several apps as a white label, but we have demonstrated with ZELOOP that when you start to put incentivization and gamification, you can drive people to do extra things.
Right. No, that makes perfect sense. And I mean, that's pretty amazing, man. I'm trying to even think of what that would actually look like, 6,000 bottles.
Well, it's a fair amount. It's a fair amount. It's already in kilos. You can count about 50 bottles for 1 kilo. So, and yeah, it's big bags. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a bit of engagement, that's for sure. And then
Yeah.
because our platform is to incentivize eco-friendly gestures, we can imagine incentivizing people because they do car sharing, incentivizing because they save energy. We have a project on driving trucks, for instance, where when people will drive well and improve their consumption, they will earn eco rewards for that, and they will also be able to be hooked to ZELOOP. So that is also where we start to utilize. So as a user, I earn eco rewards when I collect plastic or I fight littering by collecting trash. But then I jump to the next app, and then I earn because I bring batteries, or I earn because I drive responsibly, or I consume responsibly. And the reward engine acts as a platform. So when we create a wallet, it's a unique wallet throughout the platform. After, depending on our partners, some would like to be in a silo, some will be make it open. We're going to do one on fashion, where it will be incentivizing people for bringing used clothes to point of collection. And in that case, they will earn eco rewards, and the wallet, if you download first the app there, when you come to ZELOOP, we see the tokens you have earned with the clothes, and then you can top it up with the tokens you earn by collecting things with ZELOOP.
That sounds awesome. Okay, I think it's time we can move on to some questions that they're asking in the AMA.
Okay.
So some of these we might have touched on. I mean, different people are tuning in at different points in time, but I'll go ahead and read these as they come along. The first one is from Satoshi's Vision. They say, do you believe that a green ecosystem in crypto can change people's mind about caring for the environment?
Yes, I do, because it has. Maybe for them is not the fact that is crypto or blockchain and so on. It's just that if we leverage the technology for a purpose, and if we leverage it properly, then yes, we can make them change behavior, because what is fantastic with the crypto or the blockchain is the traceability, is also the value creation, and the fact that value creation is in the hand of the people who participate. Always take that parallel. When Apple brought their phone, everybody say fantastic. We all bought iPhone, and it's still a fortune today compared to what we used to spend for a normal phone in the past. But that value was good for the shareholder of Apple. Me as a consumer, I spend more money now for a phone than before, and I accept it because I like the functionality.
Yeah.
When you the value creation with the blockchain and the crypto, the more I use, the more I contribute to the value, and that value I become beneficial because I own also the token. So it's really a social impact on that, and it's where I believe the technology can be very good to support eco-friendly, amongst other things, thanks to that social aspect or that financial, personal benefits and so on. But what sometimes some projects make it wrong is they put the technology in front of the use.
Yes.
If you go to ZELOOP, you don't see the blockchain. You don't feel it. It's a reality, but you don't see it. It's not important for the user. Most of the users, they come from Web 2 and so on. It's still a mystery what is blockchain, and they are scared about all the scandals you see every now and again on bankrupts and so. So putting the technology because it's cool to have the technology, it goes nowhere, and a very few projects actually do that, and it's why we really focus. We focus on real use case, and underlying we use the technology, and for
Right.
us
I
is
agree.
the conditions for success. And it's why you see also a lot of projects that fail because they are scam. They use the technology just to shine, but their purpose, they have no purpose but just taking the money of people, of investors.
Right, exactly. They're looking for, they have a solution that nobody necessarily has a problem for at first. And like you said, when the technology, when you don't have to think about it, you just do it, but you don't even necessarily, have to know how blockchain works or anything like that. That's when you're going to get that mass adoption, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah,
Perfect,
that's what I
perfect.
believe also.
Okay, so the next question is from Vikram. We did already answer this, but he asked, what blockchain is this built on?
It's a Binance Smart Chain, so BIP20 protocol.
Okay. And will there be any plans to be cross-chain in the future, or is that further down the road?
I think it's very further down the road. I think our challenges today is acquisition, is to make the token known and so on. At the moment, the performance that we have with that blockchain is good, and so it will be more a reflection as an optimization when we reach to a stage where we say, well, okay, we have some costs, or the drawbacks are larger than the benefits, so now we have to address that. And if the cross-chain address those drawbacks we need to address, then we will switch to that. At the moment, it's not really the priority. We have many more things to do before than that.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, BTC Maverick asks, how do you plan to make the mobile app reach the masses?
So yeah, we mentioned a bit on that. So it's networks, thanks to our representative, is the cross adoptions and so on, the cross marketing we have with some other app that will join the ecosystem. Referral also, every user can invite people to the app, and we will upgrade gradually that, where you could also get some benefit if the people you invite are also acting for the planet. So there are some more plans to grow that part, that referral side, but it still is already working quite well. And obviously, as we are seeking for more investors, is to do a bit of more marketing on the token, more marketing on the platform. Today, all our achievement is primarily organic. You see that our token Is on CoinMarketCap is ranked between 4,500 and 6,000 as a position. We believe that we're already one of the few 5% tokens that have a real use case behind. So it's more a matter of being visible. So yeah, starting to invest also on the marketing as we can will be also important.
Okay, makes sense. This next one is from Cindy SNWoke. Says, does the project have plans to enter the Metaverse space in order to provide more utility for NFTs and governance?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, we have already entered on that. And we have a partnership with a blockchain video game studio that have a very cool game where all the assets are NFTs. And what was interesting on that is before we came, they are still on beta version, so we are waiting for them actually to accelerate. But we have already worked the API, the connection. But their gameplay was already designed about one of the characters in their gameplay is collecting a plastic bottle in the game. So what we're going to do with that video game is that through an API, the video game will check your status in the app, in ZELOOP app. And that status it depends on your impact, how many bottles you have collected and so. And the higher you are in the social ladder of ZELOOP, the more benefit you have on that video game. And that video game is a play to earn type of game. So then you see that your performance in the real life with ZELOOP will make you benefit in the virtual life in that game and earn more. So yes, we have some step on that. It takes a bit of time because obviously a video game, it's much longer to develop than a mobile application. But we are on that, and we have some other things that I can't disclose that. But definitely, the metaverse is something interesting. But again, provided that we have a meaning behind that. For us, we all do that because we want to push people to make an impact. So if it's just all virtual, it's nice to have, but we failed. What I want for all the people joining the community of ZELOOP is that they help to the planet. So metaverse, great if it helps to get people engaging in the real life, because we live on the real planet. We don't live on the virtual planet.
Right, so, not just doing something just for the sake of doing it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So Kitty Cat says, why should we support the ZELOOP project?
But maybe because what we just said before is for a change, you can invest on a crypto project that has a purpose. And then it's, I mean, my partners, one of my partners is on crypto trading and has his, for long, he has his first blockchain company in 2013. And we see that I came to blockchain much later when I met my co-founder. But many projects have no purpose, or unfortunately, a lot of projects, the only purpose they have is to scam investors. So yes,
or just straight speculation.
People. Yeah,
right.
You can look our track record. We launched ZELOOP in the beta version was May 20. We released the app in July 20. Our social media, you can see the dates since September 2019. So we are there for long. We have already invested, and we all the money that we earn already from the platform and from the things is reinjected to grow further the network and so on. So we don't do that just to disappear tomorrow. Otherwise we should have disappeared 2 years ago and not pushing that. So yes, you can. The good reason is it has a purpose, and we are dedicated, and we are growing. We have good track record and so on, and we are recognized by the industry, and we have some clients that are from the real world, from the industry.
Perfect. So Matthew Matthew Levi says, how can we get more coin? I'm not sure if it's meaning where to buy, or is there a way that you can
Yeah,
earn
I think so,
more?
because I've some people asking often, where and how and so on. So, but first, you can buy on exchange, like you mentioned, the xt.com, TagPi, or the PancakeSwap. You can also increase by doing some stacking and then join our stacking program that amplifies what you stack. There is there are no minimum requirement, but for the stacking, the more the amount is large and the longer you stack, you keep it on the liquidity pool, the more you will have extra token. And obviously, after you can use the app and earn by doing impact.
Perfect. And this is the last question from Sunita. Said why is it that the project is yet to be updated? And it says they say we should look for the promo code to earn more.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That is more a specific question to the current giveaway we are doing with LATOKEN to create
Okay.
awareness and get everything. So it's a good question because it clarifies a bit. So there's different ways to earn tokens. Like we say, you can buy, you can use the app, do plugging, do collect plastic bottles, invite friends, map deposit points, and so on. That is the easy way, and so on. But the other easy way is to participate to the giveaways, asking questions, sharing the project, commenting on our social media, and so on. But because we want also people to really discover the app and so on, they can join our Telegram or Discord. We have a large Telegram group, but we have a small Discord because we just created that recently as a new extension of the app. We used to have a forum in the app, and we have decided to benefit from the more the larger capability of Discord to
Mhm.
become the extension of our forum of the app. So from the app, you jump directly to Discord. So it's not a space for acquisition, it's space to communicate for people. We start to have people in Latin America. So in Discord, it's easy to make a channel in French, a channel in
Right.
Spanish,
Yeah. A lot
in
more
English.
options.
There's a lot more option that you don't have to spend on developing in the app, and so it's better in terms of growing fast and so on. So in Discord, you can find there's a place where we're going to put a promo code. Every now and again, we put some promo codes. We have
Nice. Okay.
generated a promo code for this giveaway that we will release the code during the week. So you have to go to Discord first.
They have to be paying attention, and yeah.
Absolutely. And first, it's also a good way to avoid all the bots that are polluting usually MAA
Yeah.
giveaways, because you have to verify yourself when you register on Discord. So we have real human, because a bot will not collect bottles, so we don't do any impact on the
Right. Exactly.
so, and it's nice bots, but no, we want real humans that
Yeah.
can do something for the planet. And then this promo code, you will discover it in Discord, but to utilize it, you will have to go inside, so download the app and go in the app, discover the app, and there's a section where you have reward. Every day, you can have a daily reward of 100 eco rewards by clicking a button, and you have a space where you have promo codes. And that every time you find a promo code that are time limited codes, you will have extra eco rewards on your wallet, and then you can directly access to the marketplace to find some goodies, or start to accumulate in the app and later withdraw with the function.
Makes sense. And that's the end of our questions. We'll wrap this
Question.
up. Yeah, Eric, I must say it was an absolute pleasure speaking with you today and finding out more about ZELOOP.
Yeah. Thanks a
And
lot.
we're
Thanks a lot for
definitely
giving
looking
me the
forward to
opportunity.
hearing. Yeah, sure. Like I said, we're looking forward to hearing more about ZELOOP project and its future developments. I'll definitely be keeping up with it myself. So thank you once again.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for all your good question and guiding that great exchange.
Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, you have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great evening, you too. Bye bye.
Bye.